Hi, welcome to the channel. This is going to be the first one of what I hope is a long line of barbecue, smoking, cooking demonstrations and recipes we're going to share with you. Today, our neighborhood has a block party going on, so I'm going to bring a pulled pork sandwiches. So I'm going to start off with about an 8-pound pork shoulder. I've already trimmed off all the fat and I'm ready to do some injection. What I'm using is mostly a home recipe rub called Reese's Rub, named after my daughter, that is then added with apple juice, and I'm basically injecting it slowly, about every inch into the meat. And as you see, I've got a little bit of a hole there in the middle where it's leaking out, but I'm not real worried about it because I got a ton to put in. And later on I'll be using a Traeger smoker. I take the route of, I'm a dad, I work, I don't do this for a living, so I choose the stuff that lets me do other things while I'm cooking. Obviously I found the bone in this particular part. So the Traeger smoker, I'll say it has made my enjoyment of cooking so much greater because I don't have to sit there and monitor it. I tried doing on a barbecue several years ago, and boy did I fail badly. And ever since I've had the Traeger, it has been basically flawless. And then I also have another thing that I was a Kickstarter purchaser for a little product called a meter, which is a little wireless temperature probe. Because again, I don't want to sit there and watch the barbecue. I want to be interacting with people, playing with my kids, doing stuff around the house while this is working. And that's the beauty of these two products, is I can tell the temperature and know that the Traeger is keeping things beautifully cooked for me. So I'll say about a cup and a half. I'll throw the recipe on for you. I've used about a cup and a half of apple juice. And again, I'm injecting it all over the place. I went too deep on that one. I'm sure there are numerous ways to do it. I usually will do a little bit of a dry rub afterwards, but I'm trying something new this time, including a little bit of balsamic vinegar, which I think will make it a really nice sweet taste. And I'm hoping with a little bit of luck, I don't know how much the neighbors eat, this is going to be able to serve about 10 people and make it really delicious. And as a West Coast guy, I'm going to say a delicious IPA will go nicely with the cooking process of this. How you want to eat it is up to you, but right now I'm drinking a Roja double IPA. It's delicious. And I will see you guys in a little bit on the barbecue. Now I've got the pork shoulder on the Traeger. It's set to 250 degrees. I'll be cooking at this level for about 6 hours. I'll come back and give you hourly updates so you can see this delicious thing progress. But looking forward to it and hope you enjoy. Alright, here we are, the first hour in. You can hear the Traeger working away. Get a nice delicious glaze on it. It's coming along nicely. So we got about 5 more hours like this, and then we'll wrap it up for a couple more. See you in a bit. Alright, here we are 2 hours in, still looking really good. Got another 4 hours at this temperature. The meter thermometer is showing an internal temperature of a little over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. See you back in an hour. It's coming along nice, it's looking good. Nice glaze, delicious color. Showing 121 on the internal temperature from the meter. I'll be back in about an hour. See ya. Here we are, 4 hours in. It is looking delicious. It's coming along beautifully. The temperature is progressing a little bit faster than I thought, so I'll be taking it off a bit earlier than 6 hours. So you got about 90 minutes left. See you back in a little bit. We are about 5 hours in. Thermometer showing correct. So it looks beautiful. Getting ready to move it on to the foil. We'll be good to go. Alright, it's been just over 5 hours. on the smoker, getting it to a core temperature of 160 degrees. Now ready to do the next stage, which is to, I call it a boat. I'm sure there's a better term for it, but for me, making a little boat. We're going to test the concept of the tinfoil hat people as to whether or not Wi-Fi works through tinfoil, but I'm going to bet that it does. I'll have a backup though just in case. Will we wrap it up? It smells amazing. Make a little boat. And the whole purpose of the boat is to hold all the yummy juice from the original phase. So this is just basically let it sit in here. And then I'm also going to take the remainder of my spray, stick that in there, and seal it the rest of the way up. Now if I was smart, I would have already peeled off another set of foil to wrap around this, but I'm not. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, so the last bit, I take another big piece of foil. Thank goodness for giant pieces of foil. I'm going to wrap it around the side. Hopefully I'm not blinding you guys by the light. I'm getting blinded a little bit myself. Oh, it's beautiful. And that's it. Now I'm going to throw this back on the smoker at 250 degrees to get a little bit hotter, get going for another 2 to 3 hours depending on the temperature. So my target temperature is 195 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll see you in a few hours. Thank you. All right, the pork shoulder is about ready to come off the smoker and sit for a little while, so I figured I'd make the coleslaw right now. I've already mixed up the shredded green and purple lettuce, or excuse me, green and purple cabbage. Adding in 2 carrots that are, in this case, diced. Gonna add a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. I prefer to not do the mayonnaise based just because frankly it grosses me out. But I think hopefully it's a little bit healthier. A 1/3 cup of olive oil. I'm pretty sure you guys will correct me on that because I'm pretty sure I measured that wrong. Some salt and pepper to taste. And then the extra little bit is some grainy mustard and some celery seed. Okay. Mix all that in there. Make sure you wash your hands and just mix away. I think this will make a really nice, delicious, acidic coleslaw to go with the sweet, delicious pulled pork sandwich. And there you go. So the coleslaw is done. The pork shoulder will be all right, ready to go. Next time you'll see me, I'll have it on the table, shredded up, and ready to put on a bun. Thank you. See you in a bit. All right. So after about 9 hours, it was about 8.5 hours. First, I have bad news for the tinfoil hat wearers. You're going to need at least 2 layers if you want to keep the radio waves, because the meter probes survived, did beautifully, and broadcast the whole time. I did find out that in the last about 20 minutes of the 9-hour activity, one of them, the battery died, so I added in another one. So here's what we got. There's a little meter probe. Here's the one that the battery died, but that's pretty epic for almost 9 hours of battery time. So I'm just gonna peel back just a little bit, and then I'll have you revisit because the juice and everything looks amazing. So there's the first phase, and before I make a giant mess, I'm gonna transition things to another spot, come back for the pulled pork reveal. Talk to you in a little bit. Done with the pull, and now to make itself a delicious little sandwich. So, pile some on here. Grab a little bit of nice vinegary sauerkraut. That is a terrible, terrible stack, Jason. Do better with that next time. A couple of pickles. Throw the bun on, and you are ready for a delicious sandwich. So thank you so much for watching the show. Glad to see, hope you enjoy it. Try it at home. It was really easy, and it's absolutely delicious. So thank you. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, welcome back. To go with the pulled pork sandwich, we're going to do something that the family came up with. It is called the High Desert Lemonade. We live up here at high altitude, so it's a fitting name. So what we did is we had some smoked jalapenos. We infused that into the lemonade. This time we're using some Alpine whiskey and a little bit of turbarin sugar, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and some ice. And then most importantly, if you haven't tried this yet, try some dried smoked lemons. They are absolutely delicious, and frankly they taste like candy the way they are. So start with some ice. Your favorite cup, of course. Be sure to have your favorite people with you. Toss in the sugar. About a tablespoon each. I prefer to add the whiskey next. Be liberal with it. After that, add the jalapeno infused lemonade. Top that bugger off. And last of all, toss in a lemon on top, and give it a stir. All right, cheers my dear. Enjoy.